Chaturanga. Go and test it out. It's available on chess.com. You don't get to castle, so for those players that love not castling in your usual games, you know who you are. I mean, maybe if you love playing too much with your queen in normal chess, maybe you should test out this game. It was so much fun for me to test it out. I'm going to keep on playing it with some friends. Maybe it will improve your in-game skills as well. You never know. Chaturanga. Chess has a very rich history, and I've done a bit of digging and research, and Chaturanga is one of the games that most sources give as one of the earliest versions of chess. Originated in India. Let's have a look. I played a game on chess.com, and this is how it went, guys. So just to give you a bit of background, the pieces, to my surprise, it was actually it's quite similar to chess in a lot of ways. First things first, the bishops are no longer there. As you can see, there's two elephants on the board. Looks pretty cool, actually. Two elephants, and the elephants, they still move diagonally, but they take these huge steps, right, like elephants do. So this elephant, for instance, can go to that square. So it's two squares diagonally. So these two elephants won't bump into each other, just like bishops do. But it's two squares at a time. So they can't capture anything close to them. They have to jump two squares. And also, there's a bit of a debate. I'm not sure if anyone in the chat can help me out, but on this one website, on chess.com, for instance, you can jump over stuff, which makes sense. The elephant is quite a large animal, right? So it would make sense, but some other sources say that it cannot jump over pieces. So, okay, that's the elephant, which basically replaces, or the bishop eventually replaced the elephant. And then next to that, we have the queen, or I think they call it the advisor. I think it's the advisor. Again, correct me, guys, if you know better. But it's definitely not the queen. The advisor is a lot weaker than the queen. It can only go diagonally one square at a time. So unlike the elephant, it can go two squares. It goes two squares. The advisor will go one at a time. And of course, she cannot move at the moment. So yeah, she or he, I'm not sure now anyway. And then, of course, the kings, they standing on the D file now, not like the chess that we know. So that's that. So those are your pieces. The knights are as usual. The rooks look a bit different, but they are still typical rooks. And then the last thing that's so important is, of course, you cannot castle. You cannot castle like your regular chess. So that was a challenge in itself. So I went ahead and tested out this game just to tap into my ancient chess player. So this is how it went. This was my first Chaturanga game, guys. Let's have a look. So I went d3, and the reason why I went d3, forgot to mention, pawns can only go one square at a time. No two squares for the first time business. So all of them one square at a time, and there's no en passant, if I'm also correct. So a lot of small changes. Okay, my opponent developed. So I went d3, I went and established the center. Both of us established the center. Knight f3. And elephant d6 over there. So immediately you can see the elephant is aiming at that square and that square. And the elephants kind of threw me off in this game. I played pretty... but I was pretty uncoordinated in this game, but we'll see. So I went elephant d3. Elephant a6. I went a3, just trying to prevent these pieces from entering. And I had some ideas of my own to maybe do that, but after knight f6, I went b3. Why did I go b3? I'm saying b4. Maybe I should have gone b4. b4 looks quite nice because then I could aim for b5. Looks good. Okay, anyways, I went b3. And yeah, you can already see that it's a bit of an awkward situation where my opponent goes knight to e4, and I had to do something. I didn't want to take the knight, because if I take the knight and he takes back, then there's a fork. And remember, the elephant can't capture like this. The elephant will jump over, and basically I can't save both pieces. So yeah, so that was awkward. So I jumped knight b5. My elephant is defending the knight. Okay, not that anyone can capture it, actually. But I didn't like this knight over there. Okay, let's see what happened. Advisor went to d7. Pawn to b4. There I started to realize, okay, I can actually push this pawn. So I'm planning on maybe capturing and then pushing. So he spots it, and he jumps in over there on c4. Knight to d2. So awkward. My elephant is not doing what I wanted to do. It still feels like I want to use it like a bishop, but okay, I can't. So knight d2, takes, and this elephant was the root of a lot of my problems, because the square is being attacked, the square is being attacked, and I didn't know how to get rid of that elephant. a6, and I must double check the value of the pieces. I must double check, because the knight is I don't remember now. In normal chess it's 3. I'm wondering how much is the elephant. I wonder. There's something that I need to double check. So takes. c3. I'm already very awkward. Remember, I can't castle. I was contemplating even doing something like this to castle, to find some type of normality in the structure, but I didn't know how to get rid of this guy. It seems like maybe it's just the elephant that can do it, or maybe a rook, but I don't want to give up my rook. So c3, a5. My opponent was playing well. Went there. And here I just made a huge mistake. If I'm remember well, yeah. Elephant over there. Again, I was thinking that I can maybe take there or maybe attack that, and then I realized just after I played it that, it's not going anywhere. So probably in this position, I should consider playing king over there, or maybe king over here. Just not what I played, right? So elephant a3. My opponent is making good strides, and yeah, I decided to give up my elephant for the knight. So both have an elephant and an advisor. I went f3. He brought his king up. Rook there, and I tried to open up the position. Maybe I should have involved this piece. This one a bit more. Maybe king there or something. So push, and I take again. Okay, now I don't have a choice. So I should have maybe slow played it. So takes, and here things just go very wrong. King takes, and over comes the rook. Check. And do you see the coordination? Do you see the coordination? The rook and the elephant, they are coordinating on that square. And for that reason, the rook swings in. And look how useless my elephant is over there. It's doing nothing. I protect. Good move. He wants to, of course, my opponent wants to get his advisor in as well. These pieces are very slow. You get the feeling that the game is a tad slower than the normal chess, right? It can still transpose into some normal chess if we trade off some of the other pieces we are not known to use or not used to, but okay. I decided to play here. I guess I could have traded first, but I was already so low on the clock, 14 seconds. He's got 1.5, and I already realized that I'm dead lost. And yeah, started scrambling, and this was just a blunder. My goodness. The elephant is just a bit too clumsy, and after just a simple pawn move, my elephant is a goner. No more squares. So I guess I should have moved back, but again, the frustration of not being able to move was there. Look how powerful this elephant is. It's controlling these squares. Okay, now I'm just dead lost, and I shuffle the pieces around, ready to resign. My opponent just desperately wants to trade off my last strong piece, the rook. So that was my task, to keep the rook on the board. Okay, he gave me this piece. He basically said, you know what, I want to end the game quickly, so I'll give you even my elephant, and he's got 2 outside pass pawns. And again, you get the feeling that this is just busted. But the thing is, we actually have opposite color advisors, right? So, okay, in opposite color bishop endgames, it's also good to have outside pass pawns on both sides, right? But yeah, I started to realize that if you look at this position, this advisor, in the next few moves, I started to realize that this advisor cannot really enter the position. And right, it cannot enter the position because I'll capture it. And this pawn is not going anywhere. The position is so closed. So in the next few moves, I just made sure I stopped both passed pawns. And also, along the way, it was, okay, so yeah, I started being happy because I knew I was going to draw now. I kind of thought that my opponent needs to do something like this. He needs to go for glory here. Maybe push this pawn and go there, and I capture, and he gets these passed pawns. Maybe this was still the way to win. I think that was the way to win. That was definitely the way to win. He went back, and I just shuffled, pushed the pawn. He even gave this pawn up. Remember, these advisors can only move 1 square at a time diagonally. And now I was very comfortable. And I got so comfortable that I even started thinking about winning. And then I played this move. So, and then, you know what? When I sacrificed the piece, and he captured, I captured, he captured, then I just got a flashback. I read something. And then I realized there's one more thing that I also forgot to mention to you guys. About the queening. When you get a pawn to the other side of the board, guess what? You can't get a queen as usual, right? You don't get to choose either. When you get the pawn to the other side, you get an advisor. So you get an advisor. Yes, that slow pieces that we've been using the whole time. So I sacrificed an advisor here just to go get an advisor. So yeah, I should have just taken the draw, and then I felt so horrible here. And my opponent now, of course, is just completely winning because he can get a couple of more advisors. And but then I realized, but okay, he's also just got 2 advisors as my advisor. One rule that I should add again is Chaturanga, if you get stalemated, you lose. And also the side that ends up with 1 piece. So if you capture my pieces until I only have 1 piece left, which is the king, then I also lose. So you can literally just remove all of your opponent's pieces until he has the king left, and then that's that. So I had some hope left here because my opponent's advisor is trapped. Wow, another turn, another twist. And remember, these are opposite color advisors, so they cannot bother each other. So I came closer to the pawn. I wanted to remove the pawn. And I almost captured over here, but then I realized, okay, I can't be left with 1 piece. Capture. And there, all of a sudden, I've equalized. Whoa. And again, draw is in the bag. And now just shuffling and shuffling. My opponent seems to be shuffling as well. And now I'm starting to realize that my opponent is trying to dominate my advisor. I went back with my king because if I go this way, he goes there and he's trying to get my advisor. So I moved my king, trying to keep him out. So now he's opening up the square for his own king to move in. I go there. Perhaps I should have played king e2. Wow, that was horrible. It's a blitz. It's a time scramble. And again, he's checkmating. He's mating my advisor here. And it's over. Or at least I thought so. And in my 2.9 seconds, I realized I gotta keep on chasing his advisor. And if he captures mine, I capture his. And I'm chasing his as well. What is going on? And yeah, yet again, I could have played advisor B2, but I dropped the piece in my nervous state, and I went for the last pawn. And finally, even though he's got the advisor is too slow. The advisor is too slow. So I could get my advisor, and this surely should be a draw, right? But the last twist, I'm getting his advisor. Same thing, he's attacking my advisor, and my advisor must just run away. He goes there. I'm wondering if he went there. So if he had gone here, I should go here. And if he goes there, I should go there, and it's over. Right? And after all of this, he went there, and finally, I won. So I won my first Chaturanga game. And what an experience it was. Of course, like I said, it was a lot slower than your usual chess game. I tapped into my ancient chess player, but Chaturanga player. But okay, it's. I don't think it's going to replace my love for chess, but that was certainly an interesting test into a test into the past. The advice, I think I can get a lot better in this game if I just practice a bit more, get familiar with the rules, get familiar with those elephants. Oof, but I felt so clumsy with the elephants, and the advisor is also, I mean, maybe if you love playing too much with your queen in normal chess, maybe you should test out this game, because it really doesn't give the queen, aka the advisor, anything. Right, any power. So, and you don't get to castle. So for those players that love not castling in your usual games, you know who you are, you should go and test out this game. It was fun. So that is Chaturanga. Go and test it out. It's available on chess.com. It was so much fun for me to test it out. I'm gonna keep on playing it with some friends, and maybe it will improve your endgame skills as well. You never know. I've got another variant that I'm going to test out pretty soon, so that I'll post pretty soon. So stay tuned. Throw in some comments in the chat box, guys. Tell me what you thought. Has anyone else played this game before? What's your favorite version of this game? And yeah, if you are new to the channel, if you are old to the channel, if you haven't yet pressed that subscribe button, then please go ahead and smash it. And yeah, it goes a long way in supporting us and pushing us, and it's inspiring us to create more entertaining content for you. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, guys, and I will see you for the next one. Cheers.